What would it be like to have that financial freedom to the point that you can spend time and money with the people that you love the most? I mean, do you have right now what is called financial insurance? We have insurance for our house, our car, medical, dental. Doesn't it also make sense to have insurance against whatever stream of revenue we have coming in our household? Are you currently right now a business owner and do you have a plan to cover the unexpected? And in lieu of what's happening in 2020 all across the globe, we all need to have some type of plan to cover the unexpected. Well, today we're going to talk to you about a lifestyle that's powered by gold and
Oh, I
silver.
see.
I want you to imagine for maybe the first time in your life, building residuals that will last you the rest of your life. Not only that, creating not only wealth for now, but generational wealth that'll last for many, many years to come. So do me a favor today. Put a one in the chat if it looks like right now you're working way harder today for your money than you've ever done just to cover the basics. Well, I guess it's a little comforting in knowing that it's not just you. But higher costs and financial pressures, they're reaping havoc on millions of families today, ladies and gentlemen. And that was a recent study that was done in May of 2017. It said 44% of Americans could not take a $400 hiccup in their life. That's alarming to me. That means a tire blows out, something happened to a washer or dryer. And in lieu of the fact that in this country alone, over 50 million people filed for unemployment this year alone, I mean, I think that number's probably closer to 70%. So the question is today, and we're going to give you the answer to it, is what's happening with your money and why should you and I be concerned? Here's the reason why we should be concerned. This chart shows you the purchasing power of the dollar over the last 100 years. And do me a favor today, put a two in the chat if the purchasing power of your dollar and my dollar is going the wrong way. I mean, what this chart is simply telling you that $100 today won't buy what $100 would 5 years ago, even last year. And the greatest enemy of accumulation is a little word called inflation. Well, there are several things that you can look at this chart that cause the dollar not to buy what it used to buy. But the thing I want you to focus on today took place in 1971, August the 15th to be exact, when then President Nixon took the entire world off of the gold standard. You see, up until that time, ladies and gentlemen, they could only physically print what they could back up with the Fort Knoxes of the world. Now you hear $5 words on television like quantitative easing. All that means our government now has a license to print the funny money out of the thin air. And because this is no longer backed by this, it's just like a glass of tea. I don't care how good it tastes, the more diluted it becomes, the less value it has. And because the dollar is no longer backed by anything, ladies and gentlemen, I hate to break it to you. What a dollar used to buy years ago cannot even purchase a bubble gum. So what's the answer? Why should y'all be concerned? Here's the reason why. Because of inflation. And because the dollar has depreciated, that's the reason why it's costing you 43% more to eat at home. Nearly 60% more if you have the courage to eat out. And those on the north side of our country looking at 100% more this time of year to keep our house warm. And my daughter graduated from high school last year. I'm looking at 1.5 times to pay for her college than what it costs me. So what's the answer, ladies? What can cure the ills of inflation? What can cure the ills of society and put that purchasing power back where it needs to be? Well, we're going to give you the answer today, and it's a little thing called sound money. And don't be alarmed. That's a fancy way of saying physical gold and silver. And just so we don't get it twisted today, we're not talking stocks, we're not talking bonds, we're not talking mutual funds. We're talking this stuff. This is a 100-ounce silver bar. This is a 1-ounce gold piece, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk about real money showing up in your mailbox. Why is it today? We're going to find out that the Robert Kiyosaki's of the world, the Warren Buffett's of the world, why do they have physical gold and silver in their portfolio? Why is it that the largest governments of the world, the largest financial institution of the world, why do they buy the most and say the least? What do they know that you and I should know? Well, here's what they know, ladies and gentlemen. Back in 1965, when the dollar was still backed by something, a $1 bill and a 1-ounce silver coin bought the exact same thing. And in 1965, because the dollar was worth something, all I had to do was accumulate just 2,500 of either one of these. I could walk into a Ford dealership and walk out with a brand new Ford Mustang. And do me a favor, put a 2 in the chat. If you think buying a brand new car for just $2,500 is a beautiful thing. Fast forward to today. Same 2 items, ladies and gentlemen, because this has depreciated and this is appreciated You and I both know 2,500 each. If I walk in, I'm lucky if they accept that for a down payment. But because this is now worth $30 a coin, I can literally purchase the price of two brand new Ford Mustangs. But what about the other sound money of gold? But back in 1965, if you accumulated $10,000, which is a hefty sum back then, and you put that into a house, you could buy a very nice house back then, even with depreciation, ladies and gentlemen. That house, I mean, you would have about $86,000 worth of equity, not a bad day. But what if you did the same thing? What if you knew today what you knew? What if you knew back then what you knew today? And you put that entire $10,000 in gold one time, not every month, not every year, one time, ladies and gentlemen, and you didn't touch it because of what gold has appreciated to today, that $10,000 would have grown to last year over 419,000. Today, over $500,000. So here's the thing: put a 2 in the chat if you wish your 401k did that. So if I understand that to be true, ladies and gentlemen, the question then remains: why haven't my financial planner offered to take me to lunch and talk about that? Why didn't my financial advisor say, listen, let me buy you a cup of coffee and let's talk about physical gold and silver? Here's the truth of the matter. Not that they're bad people. They're trained not to have the conversation because, number one, they don't earn a commission on it. And the people that train them, ladies and gentlemen, guess what? They hope you and I never know. They hope you and I never wake up and smell the coffee. But I want you to understand, you were invited to the Zoom today because somebody loved you enough. Somebody respected you enough to put you on this so you can begin your education on why we believe that everybody should have sound money of physical gold and silver. And we found an amazing vehicle that will help you get there based upon what you can afford. Because let's be honest today, ladies, that the average person, you mentioned gold and silver, they check out. And their mind is a rich man's game and a game of kings, but not because of the vehicle we found. I'm convinced that if your goal is to become rich, if your goal is to become wealthy, you need two things. Number one, you need a roadmap, something to let you know where you are and where you need to go. And number two, a vehicle to help get you there. But what we're going to begin the education of you today is teaching you some tried and true business principles taught from the number one best-selling business book of all time, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. His follow-up book was called The Cash Flow Quadrant. In that book, all he simply did was reduce it to the ridiculous so that everybody should know where you are and where you need to be if your goal is to become rich or wealthy. Here's the thing. Like it or not, agree with me or not, if you earn income in this country, you do so from one of these four quadrants. You're either an employee. That means you have the 9 to 5. You go to work, you get paid. You leave work, that's what, ladies and gentlemen, they don't pay you anymore. And I know, so from the surface, some people think that they have that quote-unquote good job, but 95% of people I know, and 95% of people you know, they become rich or wealthy, they don't do so in that quadrant alone. And so the people that get upset with it, they hated their boss, they hated the job, they typically migrate to the second quadrant of self-employed. That means they now own a job. And more times than not, the job owns them. That's the doctor, that's your lawyer, that's your mom and pop shop. And again, from the surface, look like they have it going on, but 95% of people I know, and 95% of people you know, that become rich or wealthy, they don't do so in that quadrant alone as well. And then when we do enough study about business, we find out the people that really have it going on, they live on the right side of this quadrant. They're either a big business owner. That means they now own a system. And they have at least 500 people contributing to their income on a regular basis. And for those of you that think already this is way out of my price range, relax. We're not talking 100,000, the price of an average franchise. Relax. Less than 10,000, less than 1,000, even less than 500. Tens of thousands of people have already been able to migrate to the right side of this quadrant by having their own big business, ladies and gentlemen. And last but not least, the investment. That means you've acquired enough assets over time where your money now makes your money. And I'm going to share with you something today, ladies and gentlemen. We found an amazing vehicle that has helped tens of thousands of lives to get there. And I can think of nobody better to tell you about the company and the benefits of being simply a member of it than our next speaker. This young lady is someone I have the utmost respect for. She's only been a part of the company for less than a year's time. She's already built a phenomenal business, and she's reached one of the highest executive levels in the company. In addition to that, she has an incredible background in marketing and promotion, and I have no doubt Because of a laser focus and helping everyone become successful, she will be one of the top leaders in this company for many, many years to come. Help me welcome to the Zoom my friend and business partner, the master educator, is Christine Campbell. Take it away.
Thank you, Tony. I sure appreciate you. I'll tell you what, it's just always an honor to work alongside you. You've done so much to help me in 7K and with growing. I have never been in network marketing before, and I'll tell you, I am absolutely sold on this company, and I'm going to show you why. But right now, I want to officially welcome you to 7K Metals. And we are, welcome to our world. We are a membership-based company. What that means, it's just like Costco membership. It's like a golf club membership, a Sam's Club membership. When you purchase a yearly membership, there's lots of benefits. So most of this presentation is about the huge benefits. And besides our product being gold and silver that we work with, again, we share memberships with others, but our product is gold and silver. And then the above average income that you can get from this. And this really opened my eyes, and it absolutely has been incredible for my husband and I. But what we want to do is we just want to let you know about the co-founders and what they did. They believe in you. They believe in me, and they believe in all of us because they feel we deserve it. They want to guide us in our journey to creating and protecting true wealth for our families. You know, the founders have watched way too many of their friends struggle in the economy and employment issues, any expected changes that come up in life. So they feel that through the power of gold and silver, they believe they can provide a way for all of us to create the financial independence, preserve wealth, and live that exceptional life. Now, back then, this has been a 4-year-old company. We're debt-free. I mean, just like I mentioned, but 4 years ago, we didn't know COVID would happen. So they had the foresight to create this to help many of those that had to close down their businesses and those employees that couldn't go to work because of COVID. Our business doubled every year for the first 3 years, but this year it has been tripled its volume, and it kicked off in COVID, especially because people needed a plan B, a backup plan, which was residual income through 7K Metals. And so not only that, we're 7K, and we build and bring hope to the hopeless, or to the helpless, and we're believers, and we build leaders, teachers, and entrepreneurs, and we bring significance to the successful. How do we do that? We have free education for everybody. You do not need to know about gold and silver when you first join. You do not need to have any background in business, owning a business. They said what they do, they handhold you through beautiful videos in many different arenas to help you on your course to being extremely successful. Now, to compare that, and it's absolutely free, to compare that, most people go to college to get the above average income. They go the 4-year degree, then there's the 8-year, 12, and 14-year to be the above a specialist, right? So unless you have a fat bank account, you're going to be paying a lot of your life off in student loans. And this is a reality check. So with 7K, you're going to find out through our plan of how you share the membership with others, and what your reward is for that is quite substantial. And it does take effort to share, but it is so worth it. So yes, we can say that we build leaders, teachers, entrepreneurs, and bring significance to the successful because we take you along the path to that. Now, I want to let you know how these co-founders are. We have 4 of them, and 3 are millionaires, and one's a multi-billionaire. And together, they have over 100 years of experience, and this company's been 100% debt-free for the last 2 years. In fact, a $2 billion company exists today because of this group. Even with all the COVID situations, 7K Metals has enough precious metals in their vaults to supply members for over a year. Are you kidding? I mean, all the mints closed down when COVID happened. Nobody could get gold and silver. And what happened is these mints, then some are in trouble because of this, but they went ahead and pre-sold gold and silver. It wasn't in their possession, and they got in trouble for that because it didn't happen. Okay, we will never sell anything unless it's in our possession. And what the founders figured is last year they thought, well, we want to be self-protected and make sure we have enough for everybody. So they ordered for over a year and a half. So during COVID, during this year, we are able to get gold and silver. You know, this is an absolute solid rock foundation example of how the co-founders truly are taking care of the members. They want us all to have that chance to have above average income, and they created it to have the most value compared to any other type of company. In fact, Our founders are on the mission to change the world. They have built this company with integrity and one that makes sense and provides complete value, incredible value. Can't say it enough. When my husband and I first started, we didn't know anything about gold and silver. But what we did is we started looking at the cheap prices in the ads in the paper and the magazine. And on the cheap price in the paper, if you look close, you had to buy 1,500 coins to get that. In the magazine, you had to get 10,000 coins. Not only that, we had some people buy some cheap price silver online on a popular website, and they did not get real silver. It was filled with lead and other materials. So that's a wake-up call. And it's just absolutely, you have to be careful. In fact, I encourage all of you to go on YouTube and to research how can you tell if your silver is real if you bought that cheap price. So what 7K has done is they've created a membership that solves all of these problems that the average person like you and I face when buying precious metals. And not only that, they have gone above and beyond. This is so cool. They took out the middleman. So all the members get to buy it at wholesale. We call it dealer direct prices. And our wholesale price is less than their cheap price where you have to buy a hunk of coins. And here you can just buy one coin if that's all you want to do, or you can buy the 10,000. It's all the same price. No minimums, no maximums. And that is absolutely exciting. So there's many reasons why we want to have sound money, which is another name for gold and silver, as Tony mentioned, as financial insurance, income insurance. It's all the same, but a hedge against poor government decisions. In COVID, the government shut the businesses down and people couldn't go to work. So it is something where that's where we tripled our volume in 7K memberships, is because people came to get the residual income. And we've had people in a very short amount of time make six-figure income. And it's only because they put more effort in. That's it. The difference with the whole thing is that effort. So it is incredible to have this. There's wealth accumulation that protects with wealth protection, as well as portfolio diversification. We have one of our colleagues is Mr. Ray Patterson. He's a chartered financial analyst. In fact, his predictions become true. And the Wall Street Journal has even given reports and interviewed him for that. And so I usually use his guidance. But what he said is everybody else, they say to get maybe 10% in your savings in gold and silver. But he personally has 82% of his savings in gold and silver, his liquid assets. And so and then his division with that is 80% silver to 20% gold. So I'm following that one. And then we talk about coin collecting, because I'm going to actually show you about the benefits of coin collecting. But what we have is, what if I told you we all made a $1.2 million mistake? I wish I knew back then when it started making that mistake. But here's what it's about. We're going to give a little quick education on coins. If you see this silver eagle, it's perfect, it's shiny, and it's in a case forever. So what they do is when they make these coins, there's that little label called MS, mint state. 70 is the highest grade. Perfect. So when it comes off the press, it's handled with gloves, it's taken over, magnified 5 times the magnification for impurities, and then only 5% of the coins make the cut that get in this case and sealed forever. So these are perfect coins. So that makes it more valuable than something just jingling in your pocket. So there's a big difference in that. And also, if you notice, our label 7K is inside that case. Well, one of the largest grading companies is NGC, and NGC does not let anybody share that with them inside the case but us. They share it with us because of our integrity, our relationships we built with them, and on and on. And this is a privilege. And so it's nice to know that 7K Metals has that high integrity that NGC accepts inside the case. There's also a tracking number, so it tracks the coin all the way from the mint into your hand. So it's very specialized. And not only that, let's go back to this mistake. If we purchased an MS-70 Silver Eagle every month since 1986, it would have cost you $40,000 to $50,000. But today, it would be worth $1.2 million. Now that's huge. There's something even huger, larger, whatever you want to say. But we have people that we know, well known in the Northwest. It's Larry Miller and his family. And he's passed away. And his wife decided to auction off his coin collection to help a children's hospital. He had 1,600 coins in that collection, and it was auctioned off at $24 million. Okay, that's a little wake-up call. I'm collecting coins. And then the coins, the more value they tell is story. If you see 1999 MS-70 Silver Eagle, it's worth $19,000, right? 2000 came, and we didn't know before it came, we didn't know what was going to happen, if Earth was going to fall apart, if the computers were going to crash. And so the mints closed down, and they've minted very, very little amount of these coins. And so if you can grab one, that's exactly what it's worth. So many people buy a lot of coins just for this. And so how can you go decide what coin you want per month? Instead of you doing it on your own, in fact, some people, if they go to coin stores, a lot of these coin stores are members of 7K, so they get it wholesale just like you, and then they get a bigger profit. So I'm just saying, the membership is the way to go. But we have an autosaver program that is absolutely phenomenal. You get one coin a month, and there's 3 packages. We get the basic coin. It's the MS-70 Eagle that I was telling you about, but they did something special. Remember, I was talking about collections. Well, they created a state collection. It is absolutely incredible. We're on state 10 on Pennsylvania. There's been 9. They're all sold out, but there's many members that buy a lot, so they sell them from time to time. The best time to come in is really right now, so you can get advantage of the rest of the collection. And you can only get one a month. You can't buy it all at once, but this is going to be valuable when it's finished. And so this is something what you want to do. Now, a lot of people have one of each of these. This is the state collection. And so we have the variety, is this the middle one. The state one was $105 a month. It's well worth that. Now, the variety coin is $139 a month. And each one of these are lower minted, many more valuable, more rare, and they tell us stories. So you have Captain America, Darth Vader, You're the Dog, and more. I'm going to tell you, there was people that joined this one, and we had, a while back, we had the Mickey Mouse 90th anniversary coin. Well, someone bought a few, and he put it on a very specialized collector site for Mickey Mouse, and he sold it for $3,000. Wow, that's pretty cool. And then there was someone, I'm not wishing anyone's ill fate on anyone, but the Black Panther coin came through, and when that lead actor passed away, it became $1,000 on that coin. And again, this one is $139 a month. So, that's just how it is. A lot of people buy several so that they can make the extra. And this is the autosaver specialty, which it brings in gold and more rare silver collectibles. And this is $309 a month. Each one is rightly priced for the value that you get for it. So this is absolutely exciting. Now, when I mentioned the free education, here's one portion. This might say, I don't know anything about this. That's okay, because I didn't either. But they have beautiful, wonderful short videos to watch to teach you about the MS-70 and coin collecting and why it's more valuable than buying bullion, which is the rounds, loose coins. So this is called the 7K buyer certification, just to point that out. And not only that, if you keep this coin each month, then you get a big privilege that actually gives you back more value than what you pay for the coin. This is called our 7K Advantage, unlimited discounts on everything you shop for just about. And what you do is it has 860,000 outlets, but also what it also has is that it also covers hotels and cruises and destination places like Disney World. It also covers lots of car rentals and hotels. So it's pretty exciting. So it works. So this is taking pictures from my cell phone. You just put in where you live or where you're at if you're traveling. You put in how many miles you want to do your shopping. You click search, and then pages and pages of these show up. This shows up Dairy Queen, Subway, Sam's Club, restaurants, clothing, you name it. Has lots of things on there. So this value, if you just use it regular shopping, it's going to save you at least $100 a month. So that's the same as the coin and the basic coin, and you get to keep the coin. So that's really incredible. What I've been telling you, everybody here, is that, the 7K membership, I've been talking about that throughout this whole time. And it is just like being in business for yourself when you join. The yearly is $199 a year is all. That's being in business for yourself for $199. And then if you want to go for the gusto, you want to have the $499 a year, which gives you business cards and brochures, and you get more coins. But let me explain. If you're in traditional business and you even want to do a franchise, the name alone is $100,000. And then you have the building, employees, product. You have the day-to-day things that happen. You have inventory control. It's just crazy, and it's on your mind. You never get a break. But with 7K, even if it's for the gusto, the $499 a year, that's it. And you can make above average income, and we're going to show you that. But what is exciting is that if you have that coin of the month, let's say, and you're active with that, then that coin of the month will pay your wages and will pay your commission. And it's huge. We're talking 500 and on up per week. But I'm not going to give it all away. I'm going to give it to my good friend. He's a serial entrepreneur with this type of business. He's been doing this for 18 years, but not only that, he is the leader of the fastest growing team in this entire world of 7K. He has definitely made a difference and has coached many people to success. And I can't wait for you to hear from him how you make that above average income. So welcome, my good friend, Ron Austin, and master educator. Thank you, Ron.
Great. Christina, can you see me?
I can right now.
Can you hear me?
I can't see you. It's got a logo on there. It says a different logo on there.
What about now?
Yes.
Now?
Perfect. Yes, perfect.
Can you see me now?
I sure can.
Okay, great. Thank you. I'm fooling around with my iPad. My computer didn't have any. But anyway, I want to thank you for that great information that you gave us this afternoon. So I'm going to jump right into this presentation, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. First and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, as Tony Hubbard talked about, that 44% of Americans today could not take a $400 hiccup. Now, I guess to say that's probably higher now based upon the pandemic and what's going on today. Well, 7K Metals has put together a very, very comparable compensation plan, as I would say, easy to learn. One person on your left, one person on your right. Once you have 500 points on your left and 500 points on your right, you're going to get a $500 check. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to run through this real quick because I want you guys to get a total understanding of what we do here. I'm going to do a little bit of the compensation and a little bit of the training all put together. So now when you get into the business, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to put one person on your left and one person on your right. As Christine talked about, that 199, that 499 is going to give you 50 points or 150 points. Every time somebody puts somebody in your organization, you're going to take the benefit of those points. So now, having Tony Hubbard or Ray Patterson or Christine above you guys and they're placing people in your organization, that's what makes this thing great. So now, every time they place somebody in your organization, you benefit as well as they benefit off those points. As Christine talked about, those 5, 20, and 30 points, every time somebody purchases a coin, every month, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to get those 15, 20, or 30 points. I stop during my presentations and say this. Based upon what you just heard Christine and Tony Hubbard talk about, you can tell that they're experts at what they do. So at the end of the day, you can tell they're going to build a large organization. I have this conversation with a lot of people. 60 days ago, ladies and gentlemen, I had a conversation with a group, and I said that the best thing for you to do is get in right now. Since that time, 2,200 people have come into that business, meaning this, 2,200 times 50, ladies and gentlemen. I have people in my organization who have over 240,000 in volume in their downline. So now, with that being said, once you have 500 points on your left, 500 points on your right, you're going to get a $500 check, which is great. So let me show you how you can do it. The best thing for you to do is understand about how you rank up. One person on your left, one person on your right makes you an associate. You can make up to $500 a week. Having a duplicating of your success, having that, you can make up to $1,000 a week as a copper. Duplicate your success again as a bronze, you can make up to $2,000 a week. And as a silver, you can make up to $3,500 a week just being a silver. And I know a lot of you guys are probably saying to yourself, man, that might take me a year or two. Ladies and gentlemen, I helped 9 people do this within 60 days. So here's what we talk about, ladies and gentlemen. Being able to put one person on your left, hit the button. One person on your left. Christine, hit the button. right? Success for speed. I love speed. I tell everybody, I've looked at compensation plans over and over and over again. Can you see my? Oh, I can't. Yeah. Having one person on your left, Christina scared me there. One person on your left, one person on your right, ladies and gentlemen, is all it takes. And I show people how to do this within your first 12 or 24 hours in the company. Now, saying this, all I'm going to do is duplicate my success. When I duplicate my success again, I'm just helping those two people put in two people, one on their left and one on their right. Once I do that, ladies and gentlemen, I advance to copper, right? So now, what is copper? Copper is this. Remember what I said, one person on your left, one person on your right. Help those two people put one on their left and one on their right. I add one more. Now, the great part about it is this. You're going to hear me say this over and over again, ladies and gentlemen, because this is the secret recipe to building success. Is copper, running to copper. So now, remember I said one on your left, one on your right. Helping those two people put one on their left and one on their right. You adding one more makes you a copper. At copper, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, you can make up to $1,000 a week. And I recommend you focusing on doing this within your first 72 hours. The reason why is because you want your business to advance every 2 to 3 days. Now, when you duplicate your success again, just helping those associates help their people become associates, they become coppers. Now you have a copper on your left and a copper on your right that takes you to bronze. Now, duplicate your success one more time. All you're doing is helping those associates become copper. Once they become copper, now your personals become bronze. You got a bronze on your left and a bronze on your right that takes you to silver. And I remember taking a short trip to Dallas, and they told me the number one money earner in the company was in Houston. Gentleman you heard earlier today, Tony Hubbard. I jumped in my car, drove down to Houston. And the great thing about it is we talk a lot about the compensation plan, but I couldn't take my focus off this silver bar that he calls a Big Bertha. The 100-ounce silver bar is what it was. And at the time I asked him, I said, how do you get one? He said, Ron, you get one by buying it for $1,500, or you could win one by hitting silver within 90 days. And again, remember what I told you guys, there are a lot of people who said 90 days, you got to be kidding. We can do this within 30 days based upon what you taught us. And just recently, ladies and gentlemen, I've had 12 people within 60 days hit silver. So that's huge. Now, remember what I said, the silver on your left, the silver on your right takes you to gold. At the gold level, ladies and gentlemen, you have to understand, you're making up to $7,000 a week. But going further, as a gold, you can make up to $7,000. As an executive gold, you can make up to $10,000. As a presidential gold, ladies and gentlemen, next slide. As a presidential gold, ladies and gentlemen, you can make up to $12,500 a week. So I remember when I got into business, I simply said to Mr. Hubbard, $12,500, I want to make a little bit more than that. He says, great. The reason why there's not anything after that is because we only have 20,000 people in the company. And the fact of it is we only had 7 goals at the time. We only had one executive goal. We didn't have any presidential. Now we have one new executive goal that I helped get there within 60 days, ladies and gentlemen. As well as we added on again 4 goals in the last 60 days. So now, the thing that I tell you is this: success leaves clues. So when you look at a compensation plan over and over again, ladies and gentlemen, you have to understand what Christina is talking about. Those memberships, like a golf membership, a Sam Club, a Costco's. You're paying a membership every year. Now imagine if we help 2,000 people come into this business in the last 60 days. What do you think we'll do in a year? Great. You understand. So now those 20,000 times 50 times 150 is what your residual, not your residual, but the volume that's coming into your organization every single year. Now, along with that monthly saver, auto savers program, when you purchase those coins, the rare coin sales, the retail sales, when somebody goes to my site and they order gold and silver, I get paid instantly, ladies and gentlemen. I can stop right there, ladies and gentlemen, and say, you know what? This is the end all be all. But ladies and gentlemen, I have to honestly tell you this. That's not it. Me and Tony Hubbard just spent a week with the founders of the company. And they said that 5 different network marketing companies called them to have them white label our product so they can use it because they thought it was so phenomenal. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is a product that's going to put us way, way, way over the top. So if you don't mind, grab a pencil and paper, take some quick notes. It's going to be about a 5-minute video, and then we'll close this thing out.
If you're watching this video, chances are you're curious about gold and silver and have a few questions, like, why should I buy precious metals? What metals should I be buying? Who can I trust to buy them from? How do I know I'm getting a good deal? And how can I afford more? Well, you're not alone. Most people have these questions, and over the next few minutes, we'll give you an easy solution. Most people would say, I had a feeling it was important and a good idea to own precious metals, but really didn't understand why. So I didn't do anything. This lack of understanding has cost people a lot of money. And quite honestly, we don't want you to make the same mistake. We have watched far too many people struggle as the economy fluctuates, employment issues arise, or unexpected changes come up in life. Owning gold and silver can help shield you long-term against all these challenges. When we started 7K, it became a mission to help the average person get ahead by adding precious metals to their portfolio, no matter their knowledge or circumstances. We have already changed the precious metals industry by offering some of the best pricing without any minimums or maximums, period. We are now completely revolutionizing the industry and making it so anyone and everyone will be able to start buying precious metals. It doesn't matter if it's a significant amount or even just $1. The new technology provided by a partner company, Sound Money, will allow you to convert your cash to gold or silver instantly. There are no shipping wait times. There's no worry about where you're going to store it, and you'll sleep easy at night knowing that if you ever want us to send you the metal, it will be in the mail at the drop of a hat. Transferring cash, gold, or silver to other members is simple, and there's no spread costs. Let's say you wanted to send 1 ounce of silver to a friend. It's just like you would have taken it out of your safe at home and sent it to them in the mail, except it's instant, and you don't have to worry about postage, and it's much less expensive than shipping. Your friend will see the 1 ounce of silver reflected in their Sound Money wallet, and it all takes less than a minute. Being able to transfer metal instantly to someone else has never been done, and it's truly game-changing. So, you may be asking yourself, if they're willing to send me the metal from my Sound Money wallet silver account, does that mean they have it on hand somewhere? Yep. Every time you make a transfer from cash, gold, or silver in the Sound Money wallet, we carefully put that amount of gold or silver in a non-segregated Sound Money private vaulting space. When you request the metal be shipped to you, we simply take the metal you requested from the non-segregated vault space and send it to your front door. Between third-party auditing and Sound Money policy, we have to have an equal amount of physical silver or gold to meet the transaction rate in the Sound Money wallet. So, what about the security of the Sound Money private vault? Your metal will be sitting behind 4 layers of some of the most technologically advanced security possible. Now, one of the biggest questions we found while helping people understand the real power of owning gold and silver is, what do I do if I need cash? The old way is that you would need to take it to a local dealer who would most likely give you several reasons why he can't give you what the metal is actually worth. Or you would need to contact an online buyer who typically has a $1,000 minimum. They would tell you a price over the phone only to be much lower after it finally arrives at their facility and they inspect it 4 to 6 weeks later. Not to mention the shipping that you paid. The traditional buyback program at 7K is much simpler and much more friendly than any other way. Now with the Sound Money wallet, it is hands down the best way to convert your metals back to cash if you get in a pinch. With one of the best buyback prices in the industry, no gimmicks, no minimums, and nominal transaction fees, you can instantly convert your gold or silver back to cash. No headaches, no hassle, just easy. So, whether you're a savvy investor who knows the power of gold or silver and the advantages of a private vault, or you're trading your first dollar for gold or silver, Sound Money will make it convenient and easy. You can finally be confident that the control is back in your hands from start to finish.
gentlemen, again, so just to sum everything up, I mean, you heard from Miss Christine today talk about all the benefits of having a membership. And at the end of the day, there are two types of people that love what we do. You have the people that have already been buying gold and silver. They love the fact they simply get a membership. They can get it at the best prices. And then you have those savvy entrepreneurs like myself, like Mr. Patterson, like Ms. Campbell, like Mr. Ron Austin. Not only are we stacking gold and silver every month, but we're building a team. We're building a community of people, and we're earning income as a result of it. So at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, it really all boils down to you just right now making a decision. And I think Dr. Benjamin Mays said it best. He said, I only have a minute, and that's only 60 seconds in it. Forced upon you, can't refuse it. I didn't seek it, nor did I choose it, but you know what? It is up to me to use it. I must suffer if I abuse it, give an account if I lose it. It's a tiny little minute, ladies and gentlemen, but an eternity is in it. Just make a decision. Here's what I know to be true. No decision has always been a decision. Every time I share the information, there's always two types of individuals dialing into a Zoom like this. Yes, ma'am, yes, sir. You're on the Zoom today. Person number one, say, you know what, I like what I hear. Really not into the networking piece, but I've been looking for a place to buy gold and silver. If I'm going to get it, might as well get it at member direct pricing. I say great. Make sure you get back with the person that invited you to the Zoom. Let's show you how simple it is to sign up and you, my friend, can start purchasing gold and silver at member direct pricing starting today. Person number two, you're like I was. And I found out not only could I buy the precious metals at member direct pricing, but I could earn income and help others do the same. This quickly became a no-brainer to me. You see, being a student of the industry, ladies and gentlemen, here's what I knew to be true. There are thousands of companies out there in the networking space. They all make money, but it don't all necessarily make sense. And here's what I mean by that. You see, it never made sense to me to pay 3 to 5 times the price for a product or a service. I could literally go to Walmart, get the exact same thing for a fraction of the cost. That just never made sense to me. But it always made sense owning a tangible asset. You're talking gold and silver, real money, sound money in your mailbox every month at member direct pricing and earning commissions on top of that. That always made sense to me. So if you're on the Zoom today and if what you've heard so far just makes sense, make sure you get back with the person that invited you to the Zoom. Let's show you how you can come on board and like Christine, like Ron, like myself, earn your first $500 to $1,000 in your first 7 days. Mark my words, ladies and gentlemen. When you look at all the amenities that are on the table, the fact that our product is not as good as gold, it's literally silver and gold, and getting paid now up to as much as $12,500 on a weekly basis. 7K Metals, we are the best kept secret in the networking space. But a year from now, 2 years from now, this company, 7K Metals, will definitely be a household name.